Let's talk about caller ID and why you just can't trust it. For a very long time now, it has been incredibly easy for scammers to spoof caller ID information. They can change the number to say anything they want, and they can change the text that's supposed to tell you who's calling. They can make that say anything they want too. A lot of scammers will pretend to be the IRS, the police, the Social Security Administration, or Medicare, tech support, alerting you of an alleged problem with your computer. And for several years now, one of the most popular scams has been to try to make the call appear to be local. So the area code and the prefix, so the first 6 digits of the caller, will appear to be the same as yours. Basically, in all these cases, they're hoping that what's on the caller ID prompts the potential victim to pick up the phone. Now, the scams that they're trying to pull vary depending on who they're pretending to be using this fake caller ID information. If they're pretending to be the IRS, they're generally going to try to convince you that you didn't pay your taxes or you paid too little and that you're going to be in big trouble and get arrested unless you pay a fine. And then they ask for your banking or credit card or other information to try to get you to pay this fine over the phone. And of course, all you're doing is handing account information to a scammer. They might be pretending to be the police. A lot of times that's the missed jury duty, where they tell you you're in big trouble and you're going to be arrested in a few minutes unless you pay a fine over the phone. Now, if they're pretending to be Social Security or Medicare, they could still be trying to get card information or bank account details, or they could be trying to get personal details that could be used for identity theft, like your Social Security number, your Medicare number, which used to just be your Social Security number, but they finally did change that. But they might be trying to get personal information. Tech support, a lot of times it's a quick scam, or they just want to try to get a credit card number off of you and then pretend they fixed the problem. Other times they might be convincing the victim to type some kind of code into their computer or visit a website that's going to give the caller control of that machine, add it to a botnet to use for criminal undertakings, whatever. The fake local call can be almost anything. It could just be an unscrupulous telemarketing call, but it could be a scam, or they're trying to get payment or personal information, whatever. So what I tell a lot of people is consider not answering your phone quite so much. If a call's coming in that you don't recognize the number, that local call, it's like, well, the first 6 are the same, but the last 4 are different. You might occasionally get a call from yourself in one of these scams if they happen to be using your number that day. Let it go to voicemail. If it is somebody that you know and it's important, they'll leave a message. Also remember, if you didn't pay your taxes, the IRS isn't going to call you on the telephone as their first contact. They're going to send mail. If you are getting called by the IRS, it's for some ongoing issue that you'll know why they're calling. It's not just for them to tell you, hey, you didn't pay your taxes and you're going to be arrested. It's going to be, something that you already know the situation because they contacted you by mail first. And government generally is going to contact you by mail initially. One last point, sometimes I hear people talk about how they called a scammer back, like they left a voicemail or they just had a missed call that said likely spam, or however their phone decided to label the call. And they talk about how they called them back and really let them have it and yelled at them and told them how disappointed they are in their choices in life. Don't do that. That caller ID information is almost always fake. You're not going to be calling the scammer. You're going to be calling someone who is a victim of a scammer using their phone number that day to make their scam calls. So you'll be contacting and letting an innocent person have it. And if you're a hothead, you could get yourself in trouble depending on what you say. On the off chance that you do reach the scammer, they don't care. They're just going to hang up on you. And you could get more spam calls because now your number is listed as someone who does respond. You responded negatively, but you have confirmed that your number works and that you will talk to people. So you don't want to do that.